What is up, Earthnoids, Spacenoids, and Jovians? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode we are continuing our journey with the Space Pirates and Mobile Suit Crossbone Gundam Ghost. Last time, Aaron became Ooze. We got a psych out where we thought Trace was going to die from the virus. She lived, but then we were blindsided by Rosemary's death from an assault in space. And Font unlocked the Mirage Bird form. This time, Kizo pilots a new mobile suit. Font stops the nuke, but he does so at the expense of losing a part of himself. And we see an old baker. So let's get into this. The nuke will cause 100 kilometers of destruction, with the center 20-kilometer radius being instantly vaporized. You want to be in that 20-kilometer range and die instantly. The slow graves of the Firefly-type death is what you get in the outer radius. He needs to accelerate more to catch up, but Font is feeling them G's. Curtis, Jack Friday, and everyone on the ground is struggling to keep up with the Dodgor, but Curtis runs up the Dragon mobile armor and stabs the head, finally taking it out. The Dodgor is a distraction for a small Zanscare force, and has been tasked with eliminating Kizo. They run into him and Maria in the Midas. The EZM SO1 Midas was developed in secret for Kizo to use. It is covered in gold anti-beam coating, fitting as this is named after King Midas, who turned everything he touched into gold. The beam manteau is a beam shield cloak similar to full cloth. It has the Midas Touch Flash, which is a flash of light emitted from the head which can take down mobile suits. Other weapons include a Kaiser staff and beam claws. It just makes me think of the Midas Touch jingle from the old commercials. Kizo uses the Midas Touch and destroys the Einarats.
Trust the Midas Touch.
Font's arms are going numb from just holding the controls at these speeds. He's losing confidence, but then he starts picking up signals. Anime, news, random TV programs. He is moving so fast that he is picking up signals from all around the world. It shows that life is happening around him. They catch up, but they accelerated too fast. He overtakes the nuke and then transforms back into mobile suit form, while decelerating the wings of light. Hang in there, Font. Don't throw up from all those G's. He plans on using the heat knife to separate the nuke from the rocket. Harado tells him that he will have 6.3 seconds. He asks Harado to optimize by not compensating for his own life. Harado still says 6.3 seconds. There is no optimization this nerd can make. He has to take action with confidence, as he will only have one chance at this. He calms his nerves, aims, and slices. He is successful, but he is veering towards Earth. His hands can't move. He hears Bell's voice. His hands can move. That was easy. He was able to gain control and not hit Earth, but he passes out right after that. Font is attending Rosemary's release party for her novel, The Rise and Fall of Zanscare. She approaches Font and wonders why he is here. She says it is not his time, and she gives him a good old bride slap. He wakes up in the med bay of the Manzana floor. Font was out for 3 days. Belle is holding her stuffed bunny, something she hasn't been doing recently. She must be stressed, Font thinks. After waking up, his senses are heightened. These aren't thoughts, they are intuitions. Something seems to have unlocked inside of him. Curtis tells him that he saved Maria City. Since it is a city of illegal immigrants, they don't have hard numbers, but it is in the thousands. Font asks Curtis when they started working with the League. Curtis never told him about the League. On the ground, they were still outnumbered, but the League came in with the assist. They knew to help out because the Rear Strike team happened to be spying on the Space Pirates and relaying intel back to the League. Curtis knew of this, but didn't say anything. Curtis says that Crossbone Vanguard wanted to give the League the intel on Angel's Call, but they would never believe it coming from the Space Pirates. It had to come from their own people. Font begins making connections to things. He also solidifies that Jupiter is indeed supporting Zanscare from the shadows. Curtis and the gang give him time to rest. Everyone wonders if Font is broke, but Curtis knows this behavior. He says it is his mind overheating. Keeping up with the Crossbone Gundams and Phantom causes your mind to race like crazy in order to keep up with the speed of the Gundam. His mind will take some time to slow down from those speeds. He just needs to rest. I assume Curtis experienced the same thing during Steel 7. Several days have passed. Font feels great. He's given access to broadcasts. He was also given access to a conference call between Curtis and Jin Ganenham, leader of League Militaires. Font wonders if this is the real Jin. There are rumors going around that there are more than one. Of course, we know this from Victory Gundam, where that fat fuck reinforced junior captain is also named Jin Ganenham. However, this is the real Jin. This is Uso's father, Hanger Gyuin. They have received the Space Pirates intel on Angel's Call. They also hear that Kizo is creating his own rebellion with Zanscare. He is trying to be the new Glimmy Toto, but with an army of mommies instead of an army of lolis. Almost 100 years later and the same shit is happening. Well, same shit, different fetish. Fonz is trying to suppress this within Zanscare. The League is prepping for their assault on Angel's Halo. Uso's father asks for Curtis's help, but wonders if they are truly allies. Curtis says they seem to have a similar goal, but different approaches. He says if they want their help with an assault on Angel Halo, then he will have to decline. For one, they only have 3 mobile suits, and the Manzana floor isn't a battleship. They don't have the resources for an all-out assault. And 2, Tetaneth Dogati is currently working on peace negotiations with Zanscare. They are working towards the release of thousands of new types trapped on Angel Halo. We will go into more detail in Victory Gundam, but we learn that the Marias are known as Sidechickers, whose psycho waves are harvested to use for the giant weapon. Maria Pure Harmonia is doing this under the guise of devolving everyone into a childlike state that would remove humanity's anger and free will. But this, of course, is a lie and will be used as a weapon. Like Aaron said, they were originally going to use the sludge option instead of Angel's Call, but it wasn't controllable, so they're going the Angel Halo route, as most of these new types on Angel Halo are immigrants. No military seems to care about them at the expense of destroying Angel Halo, all except Jupiter. They're trying to make these new types citizens of Jupiter, and thus under Curtis's protection. Font remembers Aaron's words of wanting the survivors to join the Empire. Font meets with Curtis. He tells him of a method to effectively take down Angel's Call, but it doesn't take into account people's lives. He says this is way more efficient, and for some reason he doesn't care for lives at the sake of efficiency. That is when Curtis goes off on him. He yells at him for his lack of empathy and says that he is a danger. He pulls him off the team and confines him to his room. Belle and Jack Friday are making a cake for Font. She delivers it to him only to overhear Curtis yelling at him. She tells him that the 2 of them should just get out of here and leave this place. He goes, "That doesn't sound so bad actually." Jack Friday says he'll help him if he is trying to flee. Later that day, they sneak into the hangar and steal Ghost. As they take off, Jack Friday will be waiting for them, as though knowing they will be back. Curtis is informed of their escape. As they fly off, they see a truck being attacked by bandits. It happens to be Kincaid, aka Seabook Arno. Crossbone Ghost punches a building, scaring away the bandits. Font and Belle meet with Seabook. He sees Belle and instantly sees Tetaneth in her. But then he goes, nah, couldn't be. Font is shaking from being in the mobile suit. Seabook takes him to his bakery. He introduces himself and says that he is a baker. They hide the Gundam and head back to town. All that trouble was for Seabook's flour for the bakery. Things are hard currently, so flour is a precious resource. He feeds them some bread, but Font can't eat. The town seems dead and he wonders what is going on. They have evacuated the town to the stadium. He is getting food to the people. His wife, Cecily, is at the stadium currently. The boys have left the home to join League Militaire against Seabook's wishes. Belle takes a bite of bread, which makes her want to become Seabook's apprentice. He accepts. The next 2 days, Belle starts learning how to bake. A battle breaks out in space. Font wonders if the space pirates are out there and if they have been forgotten about. It's only been 2 days, dude. He sees Seabook looking at Crossbone Gundam, an old friend. Seabook was feeling nostalgic. Font notes that Crossbone Vanguard's computers had this location in their database. It was deleted, then it returned, then deleted again. I think it's a joke insinuating that Seabook's bakery failed a couple times throughout the years, but it's worded so poorly. He wonders his history with Curtis and suggests that since he has history, he should take the Gundam and help the space pirates. Font can't fight anymore. Seabook says it is no longer his duty, and he wasn't even chosen for Steel 7. He actually seems disappointed about not being asked. Remember, Tobias spied on Seabook and decided not to choose him because he has a family. He says he was a former member of Crossbone Vanguard, and Curtis once went by the name Tobias Anarax. He says that Tobias never hesitated when it came to helping and making sacrifices, no matter how dangerous it was. After the Jupiter Wars, he went off with his wife, while Tobias continued on with the new space pirates, and he hasn't seen him for the past 20 years. He didn't even know about Zeus Thunderstorm until it was mentioned in the news. Seabook felt like he was left out. A year ago, he visited the bakery. Though silent, he was telling Seabook to continue living this life. So for Tobias' sake, he is going to continue being a baker. Knowing that Belle told Seabook her real name, Bernadette, he knows she is Tetaneth's daughter, as that was her fake name back in the day. As Tetaneth went back to Jupiter, Tobias threw away his identity and life to stay close to her. Belle's tenacity is like her parents. Seabook calls Font an idiot and tells him that is why she is putting all her effort into baking. She wants to make something he will eat. Font admits that when he was helping Seabook earlier, his first instincts were to kill the bandits. He asks the former space pirate what to do. He goes, but he should probably eat some bread. He heads inside and tries some of Belle's bread. Font realizes that he tried to shut off his emotions in order to kill, which led his rational brain to logic its way into killing people. Bread just made him a new person. This is like Yakitate Japan. I want some bread. But an explosion goes off in the distance. It is Zanscare invading the city. Seabook doesn't want to get involved, but he has no problem protecting his hometown. He says he has this, and he gets into the Gundam. And that will do it for this episode. Seabook has finally made his return. Interesting to see that his children went off to fight with the League. That is bound to be a side story in the future. Next time, Seabook fights in the Gundam and gets an Einarad. Font steals a Gedlav. The two kids return to the Space Pirates, and Font gets a new Gundam. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, sometimes all you need is to bake some bread. Peace.